Good evening, everybody. Good evening. This is Dubem Okoye again. I hope you all had a good and productive day. Yes, my day was good and productive. However, it was a little bit hectic. But hey, that's just part of life, and we just have to move. So, in my video project, I discussed the process of mounting in the following areas, and that is for my API to access my S3 bucket, as well as how one can upload more files and data using the smallest deployment. So, in this video, I will run you through the script that I used to execute this successfully. So as you can see, here is a documentation of a step-by-step guide on how to go about installing the GCS views. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to add the GCS views distribution URL as a package source and import its public key. So we're just going to highlight that command, and we're just going to right click and copy and paste that into our SSH terminal. We're just going to run that script. Okay, and we're good to go. That's gone through successfully. So the next step is to update the list of packages available and install the GCS views. So the first command we're going to use is sudo apt-get update. Now this is very important because we need to make sure that we have the latest packages which will enable us to install GCS views. So again, as we did before, we're just going to highlight, we're going to copy that command and paste it into our SSH terminal, and we should be good to go. So as we're pasting that in, it's going to take a bit of time, but we should be complete. And voila, we're done. Now finally, the most exciting part is we're going to run the command sudo apt-get install GCS views, and now that's going to install that GCS views and enable us to mount our S3 bucket within our directory. So again, like we did before, we're just going to copy and paste that command, and that should be installed successfully. Yes, and we're good to go. So now we're just going to go into our Oracle VirtualBox, and obviously because I've been inactive for a certain period of time, I'm just going to have to unlock my machine. And then once I've unlocked it, I will now show you the terminal. So as you can see, this is our VirtualBox, and I'm in the directory. So you can see highlighted in blue, we've got VirtualBox mount, and that's very important. That's where we're going to actually mount our S3 storage to that directory. And also what I want to show you, under Google Console, under our bucket, we have Dubem Business. It's very important to notice this, as this is what we're going to use to mount our S3 storage bucket with that name. So if we don't specify that name, we won't be able to mount our bucket. So I'm just going to show you the command we're going to use. So we've got the GCS views, Dubem Business, /home/Dubem/VirtualBox-mount, and that's the command we're going to use. So what we're going to do, we're just going to go ahead and copy that script, and we're going to paste it in the terminal. Okay, so we're now going to hit enter, and voila, we've successfully mounted our S3 storage bucket. So this is what we're going to have to be doing from time to time. So in cases where you've stopped your instance and it's not running and you have to start your instance again, you may have to mount this bucket. So you're going to have to run this command a few times. So before I run through the script, what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to exit out of our remote host and come back into our local host. Now we have to do this because we can only run this script from our local host, since we are copying files from our local host to our remote host. So I'm just going to type in a simple command, exit. So we're just going to come out of that, and as you can see, we're now back in our local host. Now /tuber highlighted in blue is very important. That's the directory That's basically where our files are stored. So I'm going to be in that directory and I'm going to show you the command. So as you can see, the command is scp, which is secure copy protocol, and matic.txt is the text file. That's the text file that is stored in our local host, and we want to copy that to our remote host. So as you can see, the IP address 34.134.215.156, and you've got the dbem at. So that's basically our remote host. So that's the IP address of our remote host. So we're basically connecting to that and copying matic.txt to our remote host. And then you've got the /home/dbem /virtualbox -mount. So that's the file directory of our remote host. So in essence, what we want to do is we want to copy our matic.txt file, which is stored locally, and we're going to paste that into the directory of our remote host. So what we're going to do, we're just going to go ahead and copy that command, and we're going to paste it into our terminal, and we should be good to go. But before we do that, there's something else I want to show you. I'm going to type in the command cat matic.txt. Now what that does is that shows us the contents inside that file. So as you can see in the file, it says this is a hidden gem with the potential to 15 to 20x in the next bull run. This is the case because it solves the problem of high gas fees. So this is very important. I want you to take a note of this. I want you to take a note of this file and the contents inside of it. And later on, you'll understand why I want you to take a note. All will be revealed soon. So now we've good to go. We've got the command. We're just going to copy that and paste that into our terminal, and we should be good to go. So we're going to paste that and going to hit enter, and hopefully we should be successful. We should be anyway. Yay, we're successful 100%. So that means our file has been successfully transferred to our remote host. So now that we have successfully transferred our files from our local host to our remote host, I still need to check and confirm that the file has actually landed in our remote host. And to do this, I'm going to go into our Google Cloud Console and go into our bucket, and from there we should see our file in that location. So I'm going into the storage bucket in our Google Cloud Console, and I'm just going to click on refresh because sometimes the file doesn't always appear, so you have to click on refresh, and it should just be instant, but sometimes it takes a bit of time. So I'm going to refresh and give it a minute or two, and you should see the file appear soon. Yay, voila, the file's there. So the matic.txt is there. So that's been successful. So we can confirm that transferring files from our local host to our remote host has been a success. So I'm just going to go into that file. So I'm going to click into it, and we'll just wait for that to load up. So it's still loading. Okay, so now that's loaded up, as you can see, under authenticated URL, that's where our file is stored. So I'm going to click into that, and I want to show you something. And I hope you all remember previously, a few minutes ago into the video, where I talked about certain file content. So this is going to be it. It will reveal it all. So I'm just going to go into that. So as I go into that, what can you see? What can you see? So it's exactly the same file contents that I showed you in our virtual console, where our files were stored locally, and in our remote host, you can see the exact words. This is a hidden gem with the potential to 15 to 20x in the next bull run. This is the case because it solves the problem of high gas fees. So that shows you that the file works, that the exact contents in the remote host matches with the exact contents in the local host. So that shows you that it all works. So on that note, I want to thank you all for your time. I hope you enjoyed the video. So that's a wrap for today. I hope you got something useful out of this. I hope you found it entertaining and engaging. And I wish you, again, all the best of luck in your cloud career. And stay tuned for more videos. But bye for now. Peace out.